Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the opening of the SMT Racing Inc. League here from the Daytona International Speedway. We have the trucks here tonight going around Daytona as these guys are wrapping up the end of qualifying. Let's take a look at this mammoth super speedway from Daytona, Florida here, the home of racing. Or the World Center of Racing, as you see. Lake Lloyd there in the middle, made from the excavation of the dirt to put in the corners here for the massive banking around Daytona International Speedway. You see the International Airport just behind it, just to give you just a glimpse of just how massive this facility is here in Daytona, Florida. An absolutely awesome spectacle of motorsports. All kinds of guys, series, and everyone coming to this speedway here. You get a look at from a drone footage just how large the front grandstands are in the newly renovated Daytona International Speedway here. The American flag in the foreground as these guys get ready for qualifying here from the virtual Daytona International Speedway. Well, this is the first of several races coming up for this league here. Cash money prize pool up for grabs this season. We'll take a look at the SMT schedule coming up for this season. You can see here every Friday night these drivers will be getting after it on the racetrack. Lots of awesome series coming up. They will switch between the Craftsman trucks for the first few races of the season. Then they will move into the Xfinity series for the next 5 events. And Block 3, though, will then go to the Gen 6 cars. And you see Monza National, the oval in there. That should be pretty interesting. And then for the remainder of the season and the playoffs, they will be in the next gen cars. A wide variety of tracks from Watkins Glen to Martinsville to Indy to Daytona, Pocono, Richmond. They are going to have it all coming up here this season. These guys are going to be battling on the point system here, trying to get their spot in the playoffs, and no better way than starting off the season with a win. Well, these drivers get ready to start their qualifying efforts here. Let's get a look at what a qualifying effort might look like. It depends on the setup that these drivers are going to have tonight. Put your warm-up lap, you better get it up there on the top of the racetrack as close to that wall as you can. You see the CSR broadcast car truck going around. Get that thing as close to the wall. Build as much momentum as you can going through these turns and down the back straightaway. Your second lap is going to be dependent on what setup you have under the hood. Sometimes keeping it just at the bottom of the racetrack is the move. Sometimes, as you'll see here in this qualifying lap, there's a more unique approach. You let the car kind of roll through and off the corner there so you don't scrub off some speed going down. Some guys are going to approach their second lap here a little different. Some guys might dive it to the bottom here and ride the yellow line. Sometimes, again, depending on the setup, it is a little faster to stay at the top and slowly use the banking to gain momentum and then hold it down here against the yellow line. Sometimes being right down on it is the move, but you better not get too close or you'll bottom out. Some setups, it's a little better to be a foot or two off the yellow line. You'll see here, don't hang on the bottom all the time. Sometimes you let the truck roll up off the corner, trying to maximize speed down the back straightaway without getting too far outside to the outside wall there. Great shot of the CSR broadcast dark horse machine here. Back through turns 3 and 4. And then back down the front straightaway to the line. You see it here, roll up off that corner, bring it right back down. Try not to put too much wheel input. Some guys will cut the straightaway here, or get down on the apron, but you might see some qualifying laps just like that from Daytona. These guys are getting ready to wrap up their practice here. Only a couple minutes left to go in practice, and then a 5-minute qualifying effort for these guys. If you could do us one favor, if you could do one of the 4, that's awesome. If you could do all 4, that's even better here. Help this broadcast network grow. We just moved on over to Twitch, trying out a couple things. I'm not saying YouTube is dead. We might go back. It does offer us some more clear, it puts it up in 4K for us. Twitch only lets us stream so high. But if you could do one of the above, especially if you subscribe or follow, you'll get notifications when we go live. We will have another race after this one here. It'll be for the S&M Iracing Motorsports Series at the conclusion of this one here this evening from the SMT Iracing Inc. here. Great shot of the front straightaway at Daytona, the virtual Daytona International Speedway, the world center of racing, as you see it up there on the score and the scoring box there, where all the spotters stand up top, spotting these cars around this mammoth speedway. Well, we are now wrapped up. You see the checker flag waving there from the grandstands. So these guys will now begin their qualifying efforts. We might get a peek in on some of these guys, see what they are doing around the racetrack. A pretty large field to start here this evening. And for this season, I believe I saw already 25, 26 guys registered. It is not too late to get involved. If you follow the links here on the Twitch, you could go and find their Discord, get signed up. $25 buy-in, $1,000 cash prize pool up for grabs here at Daytona. Well, here at the SMT Racing Series, I should say, as a playoffs. You saw a peek at the schedule. If you're debating on if you want to get involved, we'll give you one last look at the schedule every Friday night. They might move the start time of this up just a little bit. It's an 8:30 start here this evening for the green flag. Well, roughly 8:30. You know, you have the 2-minute grid and all that nonsense there. But they might bump it up a half hour. So if you're worried about staying up maybe a little too late on a Friday night, well, they might have a half-hour increment or a 15-minute increment of bumping this up here for this series. So if you are just tuning in and following us here on Twitch, or when we upload this later to YouTube and you still want to get involved in this series, make sure you go and check it out. Follow the links. They have all kinds of goodies planned for this series here. Let's go out here on the racetrack. Let's take a look at Tommy Rogers qualifying. As you see it there, he is got that thing wound up on the top of the racetrack. Looks like he's getting ready to either take his second lap around, or he is still starting his first. We will see here. Where does he go? He's going down towards the bottom of the racetrack, so I have a feeling we are on our fast lap here now for Tommy Rogers. We'll see if he follows the same line that we took in our little virtual qualifying effort. Looks like he is just a little bit up off the bottom of the racetrack. That might be the move here with this setup. It is a custom setup. It is a fixed series here. All these guys will be running the same exact things. So it really is going to come down to driver talent. You're not going to have a setup to save you. I know there's things you can do on each individual car, truck, Xfinity series to make it a little bit more personal, but as far as tire pressures, wedge adjustments, and all those goodies, it is fixed. Bring what you brought and showcase your skill. While these guys finish going around the racetrack, wrapping up their qualifying efforts, we'll go back here at the virtual look. While these guys are finishing up, let's go ahead and start tonight's national anthem.
Jose, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming? whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we walked were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular of Mossberg singing up, yeah, through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Gentlemen, start your engines.
Welcome back to Daytona. Qualifying is just wrapped up. The drivers are in their drivers meeting here right before the grid takes place here this evening. These drivers getting ready to get it all started here from the home of motorsports, the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Superspeedway. While these guys look to start to take the grid from Daytona, let's get a look into the SMT Iracing Inc. 2025 season here this evening. 73 degrees, partly cloudy, some shadows out there on the racetrack, but a warmer track temperature. We are still under 100 degrees, so tire wear and slickness shouldn't be too bad. We're going to have to keep an eye on that as that goes. If the track temperature continues to increase, it will definitely make things interesting. 2.5 miles around the Daytona International Superspeedway here. This should put out some great racing this evening. While these drivers get ready to put their trucks on the grid here, let's get a look at where everyone's trying to be tonight. Gatorade Victory Lane at Daytona, the virtual Gatorade Victory Lane. That is where those guys are trying to all beat each other to guarantee themselves a spot in the playoffs here this evening. If I was a betting man, I'm going to make my bold prediction early in this race here this evening. I am going to pick Justin Lee Pearson. Justin Lee Pearson for my winner this evening. In the comment section down there on Twitch, go ahead and make your guesses of who is going to get it done this evening. Some of the keys of the race are definitely going to be, when do you go for fuel? These guys only have a 50% fuel load on board these trucks here this evening. As they get ready to fire these things off, they only have 3 sets of tires, 2 fast repairs for 70 laps around Daytona. I'm just over here checking some of my texts, some of the guys. Yes, I am well aware we had another aviation tragedy here in the United States today. A small aircraft has crashed into some townhomes out in Philadelphia, not too terribly far from me out there. So I want to send our condolences out to all of those lost in that incident. I know there is still plenty of information coming out, and still a lot more to come out about what happened. Was that last night down in Washington? Unfortunately, it seems like we're having these incidents a little too frequent here in the United States. Hopefully that can get all sorted out. Well, these drivers, we get ready to take the grid. We'll step away for just one moment. We will be back here at the CSR broadcast channel from Daytona in just a moment. Welcome back to Daytona this evening there. Rookie broadcaster leaving some of the graphics up here. These drivers are taking the last few minutes of warm up here in their drivers meeting. So while we do that, we'll take a quick 5-minute break. They have a 10-minute warm up. We're already more than halfway through, and we will get the grid reset, or I should say the grid set here for this evening. We will be back in just a minute. We'll throw the countdown back on so you know when we are coming right back. ladies and gentlemen, to the virtual Daytona International Raceway as the drivers are taking the grid for this evening. Your pole sitter is going to be the number 22 machine of Brandon Showers. Congratulations on taking the first pole of the season. And we will go ahead here and let's take a look at the starting grid this evening here. Brandon Showers, Josh Cully, Randy Showers. So the Showers must have given each other a couple tips here for qualifying as they get the two Showers in the top three. Alex LeBeau, Todd Mays, Grant Wesley, Jeremy Jeffries, Gavin Schillings, Dave Scott, Cody Harris, Daniel McCurdy, Justin Lee Pearson, Kyle Cameron, Tim Shiflett, Matt Brown, Derek Jacobs, Eric in the 99 machine, and John Miles rounding out the top 18 as you see the trucks starting to roll for this evening. Let's get the rest of the starting grid here. Ricky Miles, Dave Stinson, and obviously I did not take the grid. Evan Perry is up in race control tonight. It looks like we might have had two guys miss the grid sitting there on pit road. I'm sure they will get them back up and going here this evening. So let's get a look at this evening's pole sitter there in the 22 Red Bull machine. Following that pace car going around, you also see the 21 right behind him. So in a very similar scheme, you see the 24 on the outside, the 33 there. This is going to be a start to a great season for these guys. Well, let's bring up our graphic for this evening here. You saw just how close the qualifying times were. So the tips we said in our virtual qualifying lap around here might just be how these guys got it done. They may have had a different strategy when you're talking thousands of seconds. Keeping as much speed on into these trucks here this evening is going to be what really set the difference between the entire start of the grid here. Some awesome camera angles as they roll through turns 3 and 4 this evening, getting ready to get their quote-unquote Daytona 500 started here. I know they're starting in the truck series, but they will end this season in the next gens here later on in the upcoming months. Well, the pace car is getting ready to turn down off the straight off in front of this field here. There it goes. We are going to get this season started from the SMT Racing Inc. We are green from Daytona. 70 laps to determine who's going to get the first win in the first playoff spot of the SMT Racing Inc. series. Three guys coming out of pit road there a little late. You see already the 21 and 22 hooking up here at Daytona. You are definitely going to need teammates out here to get this thing started and get it to victory lane by the end of these 70 laps. Those guys getting up to speed a little further in the back. Maybe a strategy call for them. Don't want to get involved too early. Don't want to get caught up in any wrecks. So they are going to maybe just hang out in the back there a little bit. Here you see, I believe that's a Tennessee Bulls. Yes, I see the old Rocky top on the banner there. It looks like Todd Mays in the 54 machine to come around. The 22 is going to lead the first lap around from Daytona. Brandon Showers up there getting it done so far. A long way to go. Can you keep your temps cool? Do you have enough patience behind the wheel? That is going to be one key to tonight's race. Sometimes if you can't get to the front, you'll try to make some moves that might jeopardize your entire race by getting there. Right now it looks like we are already starting to go 3 wide there on the outside, but it looks like only one truck is making that move so far. It's going to take me a while to say truck this evening. If I say car, I think you all know what I mean by that. Take a little look further back here at some of the 3 wide action. Now you have some guys thinking maybe to get up there and get with them right now, but now he is still by himself. So while we continue to look at this field, this is my pick here this evening to get it done. He is in the 58 machine as always, that blue and white painted truck there at the bottom. I think this is a guy that is going to find his way to victory lane this evening. And if I had to pick a dark horse for this evening, well, I'm going to pick 2. I'm going to pick one of the Showers to come also get away and win this thing this evening, as you already see a great start for them. Rolling through turns 3 and 4, not much action going on the racetrack right now. Everyone kind of holding even from their starting spots. Nobody really making up a ton of ground just yet. Here, the 33 is going to lead that lap around, so Brandon Showers is going to get the first 3. Oh, well, thank you for the follow there. Appreciate that. We got that graphic up and working, so we're able to follow that this evening. Appreciate the follow. Thank you so much. Everything Andy Vibes is saying, let's go number 1 car. That is going to be Jeremy Jeffries, Ryan Wilson. Also, thank you for the follow. So, Andy Vibes is going to sit there. He is going to pull for Jeremy Jeffries this evening in the 1 Monster Energy machine. I think another guy you're definitely going to have to keep an eye on this evening is Grant Wesley. We saw him in the trucks on the dirt of Bristol not too long ago. The 24 is now leading the outside lane. Up front, can he pull his way to the front again with that 88 machine behind? Grant was really sliding around through the dirt really well in these trucks at the Bristol Motor Speedway just about a week ago. Really impressed with what he did out there. Ryan Wilson said he missed the start. That's all right. Sometimes that's key. Stay out of this mess right now. The 3 looking to make it 3 wide yet again. Let's go ahead and go on board with some of these drivers as they go around Daytona. You see the 3 there on the outside. It's actually going to be the scored car of the 23. He's rocking the number 3 on the door panel there. Up here on the high side, Daytona, definitely possible to go 3 wide. A lot more narrow, though, than the Talladega Superspeedway, which we're used to seeing on this network here. A lot easier to go 3 wide at Talladega. You definitely have to hold a much better line going around this racetrack. You see Ricky Miles on board here, trying to figure out which lane has the momentum. Where does he want to go? He's kind of got an option now. He's just there. The 23's up in the wall there. Ricky's going to check up a little bit, trying to give him room. Make sure you don't get run over from behind. They all keep it going straight. Up front, Josh Cully is still leading this thing. Alex LeBeau on the outside. SMT Racing, of course, they're following. Much appreciated for all the follows as well. Really going to help this channel grow. We have some more broadcasts up and coming. Obviously, we'll be with these guys all season long in their league. We'll have the S&M race later this evening. Next Saturday, we will bring up the Clash for another series. They're going to try us out, give us a try. Much appreciated by those cats. More information to come on them. They have a 20-lapper here from Daytona to start their season coming up next Saturday. We'll have the schedule up for that. Make sure you come and check that out as well. 24 car now getting a slight advantage down the back straightaway here off the bumper of Grant Wesley. Not sure how much tape is on this setup right here. Looks like these guys are pushing pretty well. Temperatures might not be too much of an issue. You see the 22 backing off there. The temperatures definitely will climb in these trucks here, especially tucked up behind these wide bumpers. Not a ton of air getting to the front air dam of these machines there. The 24, yeah, the 88 must have got warm, having to not push there. Got him a little bit off the door of the 33. Side draft is still going to be a thing here. There you go, 24. If they're not going to side draft, you get on up, get away from them. Get down there and side draft them in the corners, or then try to get away. Make sure they don't put the air right back on the side of your truck. And rear spoiler, you see them there. Now that they're separated, starting to make up a little ground. Turn into this straightaway, get right down on that door, kill the rest of the momentum that they have by taking the shortest way around the racetrack. 22 continuing to push the 33 around the racetrack. Let's go ahead here for the first time this series. For this series, the yellow flag is out on the racetrack. I'm trying to see if we had anything. Looks like Justin Lee Pearson may have gone off track. Oh yeah, we have a wreck further in the back. It did not come up until just now. So now that the yellow flag is out, some of these guys, I can't tell if anyone is super torn up here. We see the 1 car already down pit road. Kyle Cameron here going around. They look like, I believe these were some of the cars that missed the grid, so they are not involved in this incident at all. Matt Brown looks to be okay. So look, right now Derek Jacobs looks like he had some front end damage. Let's go ahead and see if we can get, oh wow, we were wrong on that one. So the 3 car trying to make it 3 wide. The 7, 3 is going to come up just a little bit, not too terribly, but when these trucks are already on edge, he's going to come down and get the 1 of Jeremy Jeffries. The rollover that iRacing put into this thing is going to pick these guys up. The 3 is actually going to make pretty hard contact there. Jeremy Jeffries upside down, almost completely over. It lands back down, so unless he has any steering issues, that truck might be okay. Derek Jacobs is actually going to go all the way. No, not quite all the way either. Just up on the roof, so be curious to check in with these guys and see just how much damage they actually got from this, because unless he comes back to the wall here, this is where we saw the right front damage on the 7 machine here. Might not be too terribly bad for these machines here. Let's see if we can get a look on board with some of these guys. Actually, let's go back live to your leaders as they're going to make their way down pit road right now. We'll recheck in with that crash later, try to get a couple other point of views, maybe some inside car cam from the guys a little further back, hitting these guys flying up in the air. We didn't have a barrel roll yet, so that's good. Not sure if these guys are going to have to burn a fast repair just yet or not. You see the Ford of Brandon Showers there getting his box. Doesn't look like he's opting for tires. The 33 does not. They are going to drag race out of the pits. It's going to be 3 wide, but it looks like the 33 is going to hang on to the point here. They're just going to try to, yeah, Brandon's just going to say, we'll sort it out when we get on the back straightaway. Let's not tear these things up. A little further back, you see some of these guys finishing up their repairs and everything back here. Let's see if we can queue up that wreck once again here with our graphic. We're scrolling back. All right, let's go back here. Let's see if we can find a better angle of this crash here. Well, this isn't going to be accurate. Let's go back a little further here, app. Work with me on this one here. It's already mid-crash because this app that is what it loves to do here. Let's try to get it queued up. See if we go on board here with the 58 machine. Hard to tell when you're staring at the truck in front of you that all of a sudden you see these guys. He immediately getting down off the race surface here, trying to get checked up. See the guys in the air. Let's just let it roll. Looked like Justin was going to try to get down into the pits, but with that one sliding back down the racetrack, hard to tell where that truck is going sometimes. Never know if he's going to let the brakes roll back out because he's got it, so you know what? No harm, no foul. Going through the grass here. It doesn't really tear up the splitters of these trucks virtually here. As we'll go back in here. Right now, it is actually saying the 22 has won the race off pit road. So with that first pit stop, that might be something we have to keep an eye on as we go around Daytona here this evening. The first yellow flag is out. They are going to be admin throned yellows. Evan Perry is up in the box. Watching this thing, he's not participating in the race, just working race control up there in the tower, trying to watch everything that's happening on racetrack. He might see some things before we see them, as you saw right there. He had the yellow flag thrown before we even got a notification that there was a crash on our SDK app over here. Well, Brandon Showers, Josh Cully, Alex LeBeau, Grant Wesley, Randy Showers is going to be your top 5 right now. Just outside the top 5, Todd Mays, Cody Harris, Dave Scott, Justin Lee Pearson, Gavin Schilling is going to round out the top 10. And the guy furthest making the biggest moves on the racetrack is going to be Ricky Miles. He's going to be up 9 positions here for him at the start of the race right now. And so far, the guy who has lost the most, we saw him involved in that crash right now, Jeremy Jeffries. Not sure if they had to use fast repairs. We'll have to check in and do some driver interviews a little later on here and ask these drivers just what happened as far as what they had to do on pit road. You see a lot of guys opting for no tires there. They're only 6 or 7 laps in. Can't imagine they are begging for grip just yet. Maybe a little bit later if they get a long run on this one. Might have to consider getting those right side tires swapped out for some more lateral grip going into these corners, especially while being pushed. We'll get a look on board here from the 33 machine and the 22s on board here. Some great shots. Grant Wesley's on board. You already hear him with the clutch pushed in there, refiring it back up. And Alex LeBeau in the Pepsi 24 likewise already on the clutch pedal there, trying to already save a little fuel. Well, these guys are getting ready to get this race restarted here this evening. The pace car should pull off here momentarily. You see the green flag in the flagman's hand here as they approach the Geico restart zone to get this restarted here this evening. We are back green flag racing from Daytona. You see some of the fire out of the exhaust of these guys as they start to pick up the speed. Shifting through the gears, that's when you get a little bit of blue flame out of the exhaust pipe there as these guys start getting up into fourth gear here down the back straightaway, getting back up to full speed here. Let's take a look at the leader's top speed here going down into turns 1 and 2, 190 for these trucks right now, and that is just the warm-up lap. It's not quite as bad as the real guys on the racetrack where they really need a full lap plus to get these things back up to song. iRacing does a pretty good job of getting the gearing right where these guys are basically up to full speed by the back straightaway here as the leaders are continuing to stay side by side, heading down into turn 1 between the 33 and 22. These guys continue to go around the racetrack here. Some of those guys further in the back there, you saw them hanging out in the back there. Matthew Brown and a couple of them as your rookie reporter had his mic muted yet again. They're just hanging back, just trying to keep those guys in eye shot to not really get involved. I know those guys are definitely going to want to try to save some fast repairs, maybe not get involved in this 2x2. Right now, all is calm right now on the racetrack. But still, it's the risk you run getting up here in the pack. It takes 1 split second to be upside down, needing to tow, using a fast repair. So those guys just making a business decision a little further back here with Matthew Brown, Tim Shiflett, and Daniel McCurdy. Just trying to keep the pack right there where they can drop back up at any point they want, but not being too close where they can't check up for anything that happens on the racetrack. The 33 has now got in front of the 22 here through turns 3 and 4. Josh Cully back to the point here. Cully, you'll have to tell me if it's Cully or Cooley here. We'll get that all figured out as the race goes on. Grant Wesley now making the charge on the outside with Todd Mays pushing him. You get a great onboard. It is difficult to see, and that is one of the reasons you see those guys a little further in the back. Maybe just hanging out. You know, when you're up in a pack like this right now, you're the second, looking at the second car in line. But if you're somebody back here like Cody Harris, and we'll get you an onboard shot here, well, he's stuck in the middle right now. Let's go ahead. He's making a business decision. He's backing back out of that, trying to get out of the chaos here. Now let's go ahead and get a look back inside his car here. You'll see just how difficult it can be to see There it is. You know, right now, he can't even see the leader. You see the 22 stepping out, but if something happens, it's going to happen quick, and you're just going to see smoke. It's going to be so difficult for these guys to get these trucks checked up here at well over 190 miles an hour. So that is why you see some of those guys a little further in the back, maybe just like we said, making a business decision to stay out of the chaos here for a little while and not get involved, give themselves a second to get checked up if anything is to happen up front here. Grant Wesley is now edging out the 33 on the inside with Todd Mays pushing him around the racetrack. Going into turns 3 and 4, can they keep the momentum up? The 22 looks like he's got that rocket ship cooled off. He's starting to push the 33 back out in front to see if Grant Wesley can continue his run forward right now. It's going to be hard to pass, so it seems that the 24 down on the apron, getting a little loose, getting that truck a little out of shape there. No harm, no foul. On that machine, Todd Mays is looking like he needs to cool that truck off a little bit. While these guys are going around, we are looking to complete lap 20. Let's see if the broadcaster's curse. It seems like every time we go to this camera, we have some chaos on the racetrack, but hopefully not this time. Let's go back and crank it up here at the SMT Racing Inc. series. As they come to complete lap 20, Grant Wesley in the 88 machine has rocketed his way to the front, immediately pulls down in front of the bottom line there. Todd Mays now the leader on the outside line here. Let's see if the 75 is going to make his push up towards the front here as we are coming to just a few laps ago. I did forget to mention we are stage racing lap 25 and 45 for the stage this evening. So we also, on top of a pole sitter, we will have stage winners and a race winner. Justin Lee Pearson is around here in the back. The yellow is out. The one looks like he's going to get it checked up, though. Oh, great job staying on the brake there. So as of right now, it looks like everyone might get away. We'll get a better shot here. Looks like we could have some left front damage, maybe just a little on the one machine here. Let's see when he comes back around. Maybe not too bad. I did see some sparks out of that machine. Looks like he's going to be okay. See, from that point of view, it looks like the left front is caved in just a little bit. Let's see if we can go back here and see what happened on the racetrack. Let's get ourselves a better camera angle of this one here. Let's break it down in slow motion. Looks like we are 3 wide. 55 on the outside, the 69 also out there. Gonna come down and squeeze the one just a little bit, at least from that point of view, is what it looked like happened on the racetrack. Then, a big shot there. Ricky Miles taking a little bit of a shot there. The one you see, the one of Jeffries just slammed on the brakes. Locking up those tires is going to get him a little sideways, but he is going to get that thing checked up. You hear the tires sliding, not wanting to use any fast repairs going on. So, considering that happened just beyond mid-pack, not too bad. Not too many guys getting tore up in this one. Grant Wesley continues to lead. Let's see, with just a few laps to go in the stage of these guys, I'm sure they're going to want to come down and get fuel in these trucks here. We'll get a look at all these cars if they do make their way down pit road. It looks like the 88 is deciding he's going to stay out along with most of the field. The 3 of Cody Harris is going to make his way on pit road. Maybe going to try to cycle his way back out in front. We'll see if they shorten the caution length here. We'll have to keep an eye on the pace car to see if they're going to try to get this restarted before the stage here, or if this could lead the stage win to the 88 machine. We'll have to get with Mr. CEO and try to figure out if they're awarding points for stage wins, etc. Oh man, these cameras just love to get just absolutely terrible angles sometimes when these guys are on pit road here. But we do have several guys in: Jeremy Jeffries, Cody Harris, Justin Lee Pearson, Daniel McCurdy, Tim Shiflett, Matt Brown, Ricky Miles, and Dave Stinson, all on pit road right now. Some tires being changed on some of these cars. Doesn't look like too many are too banged up at this point, which is a great thing to see, especially when you're only 20-something laps in to the event. The one car a little sideways there at his box is going to give just a little love tap maybe to the pit crew in front of him. So Grant Wesley is going to continue to roll around. The lights are still on in the pace car. We might have one guy getting a lap back, so they might shorten it by one here this evening. Mr. Evan Perry, if you are in the driver's meeting chat over here, I can't drag you up, but if you're listening, come pop into the broadcast booth. Give us a little bit more information on this series as these guys continue to roll around under caution. So, Grant Wesley, Josh Cully, Todd Mays, Dave Scott, Brandon Showers is your top 5. Alex LeBeau, Gavin Schilling, Randy Showers, John Miles, Kyle Cameron is going to round out the top 10. And as they run right now, the highest mover on the racetrack is the 34 machine of Tommy Rogers, Mr. Highline Racing Network, in that 34 machine, up 8 spots from his starting position. He's actually tied right now with John Miles here in the, I believe he's in the 69 here this evening. He usually has a triple-digit car. Threw me off there for a second, just in the 69 from Anaheim out there with his bike. Can't quite tell. It's a little small for me what kind of bike that is. Either way, that's pretty awesome, just sitting there on the beaches out on the West Coast, as it looks like the lights are going to turn off on the pace car, so we are going to get this thing started right before the stage gets back going in this one. One of the awesome parts about it is we're going to interview our winners and at least our top 3 at the end of this one, so stick around after the race, get their thoughts and insights of how this race all played out here this evening. Derek Jacobs getting his lap back. Not sure if he's still 1 down or if he is 2 down at this point. Looks like he is checking up to catch up to the field, so he must be, yes, he is being scored back on the lead lap here. Matt Brown just coming out of pit road, maybe finishing up some repairs instead of using that fast repair, just opting to do it manually there. So good on them for not having to burn through those fast repairs here, because we all know it's super speedway racing. Chances are you're going to see some tore up race cars by the end of this thing. Race trucks. I told you it's going to take me a minute to get used to the truck series, and I'm sure as soon as we wrap up with the trucks, they're going to swap up and go the Xfinity cars, and I'll be saying trucks while they're in the Xfinity series. They're rolling through turns 3 and 4, getting ready to get this thing back going. I said it before we did it. I said the crank it up cam seems to bring out some chaos every time we go to that camera. We might have to scratch that until the end of this race, because we know that the chaos is coming anyway. I just want to give a quick shout out to all the subscribers who subscribed to our channel this evening and last evening. Awesome. Thank you guys for your support, coming out and watching the broadcast. Everyone there in the comment section watching this thing as well this evening. Well, the pace car is off for this evening there in the Geico restart zone, and we are back underway. It looks like that is going to be our virtual stage there. Grant Wesley is going to get credited with the stage win. We will see on lap 45 what has happened there with that one, if they are going to stay green or caution lap 26 for the stage. Okay, so it looks like we're going to have a 1-lap shootout. Thank you, SMT Racing, there in the chat. Drivers decided to do a 1-lap shootout for the stage. All right, well, this could get interesting. You're definitely going to see some aggressiveness going up on these guys here. So you have you're taking the green, taking the white, and coming back to the checker for the stage. So it is a green-white checker, but not in its normal sense here. A 1-lap shootout for the stage. Drivers wanted to say Let's not just award it under caution. Let's go ahead and put it out there. That's 33, a big slide up off the corner. The 75 is going to check up, give him room. Back into it as they come to the line. It looks like it is still going to be Grant Wesley going around here and taking stage number 1 here from the SMT Racing Inc. So the 22 starts on pole. The 88 is going to grab the first stage of the race here this evening from Daytona. We're back under caution because we can't throw a green and white checker flag like they do in the in the real series, I should say. They do it in all 3 series here for stage wins in real life here. So we just throw the caution. I mean, that's it. We got to work with what we got here on the iRacing platform until they continue to upgrade it here and update it here for the upcoming 2025 season. There's rumors that a choose cone could be available to these guys here. The 88, big slide trying to get it checked up here. I believe it looks like he's going to have to wait on the pace car. Is that accurate? Yes, he is slowing down, waiting on the pace car here. So they don't get a black flag. They might just tell him, just go around one more time, catch up, and we'll just clear the black flags as you go down pit road. That might be what they are going to decide right here. You saw the 88. He's got some rear brake definitely programmed into that truck as he was trying to get it checked up there. Yeah, no one's going down pit road just yet. So they must, sometimes also here at iRacing, it's telling you to let the somebody car go by, and it doesn't tell you, hey, wait up on the pace car first, or go catch the pace car. Sometimes it's too busy. You stay behind this car, and you're like, well, I need to know if I need the pace car to go by or if I need to, go catch it. Sometimes iRacing is just goofy like that. But again, you work with what you got. So Grant Wesley takes stage number 1, one of the higher I ratings in the lobby, 39.73 on that machine there. He actually might be the highest. Derek Jacobs, I believe, is going to be the second highest on the racetrack, 30.64. A lot of guys hovering right around that 3K. No, Josh Cully, a 3,500. As we continue to look at some of these drivers' I ratings, some high I ratings out there on the racetrack. Now they are behind the pace car, and they are going to make their way down pit road. So we will check in and see what they do on these pit stops. You saw the race off of pit road. It looks like the 97 machine is actually going to win the race off of pit road. This time around, maybe he took his 4 tires and fuel there on that last caution and decided just for a splash this time around. So the 97 and Tim Shiflett are we saw them hanging out towards the back of the pack there in that first bit of that stage there. Now going to come out P1 and 2. Dave Scott is going to be third. Brandon Showers and Grant Wesley is going to go from winning the stage to rounding out the top 5 here. So the 97 and the 44 each up 10 and 12 spots on the racetrack. As we're getting some notifications from old Steam down there. Some of our buddies playing some games. So the 97 from Texas here. It's going to take us to the green flag when it comes back around. Tim Shiflett. Dave Scott there in his reliable IT Chevrolet here this evening. Brandon Showers, Grant Wesley. Going to round out the top 5. Randy Showers, Gavin Schillings. And that 40 painted machine, Josh Cully out there from Boise, Idaho. John Miles, Cody Harris. Who was it? I love it. Mac, Ohio for Cody Harris. Todd Mays. Alex LeBeau from Florida. Tommy Rogers out there. We call him Mr. Highline. Jeremy Jeffries in the 1 car in 14th. Ricky Miles rounding out the top 15. Kyle Cameron. Dave Stinson. Eric in the 99 machine. And 2 more guys on pit road. Justin Lee Pearson making his way back out. Matt Brown and Derek Jacobs getting the final of his laps back here from Seattle. So let's go back up here to the front. The lights are off on the pace car. This time, maybe we'll just start in the crank it up camera instead of throwing it to it and see how the second stage starts to play out in this one. Rolling down the back straightaway here at Daytona, probably just about, I think the pace car is doing about 70 or 60, yeah, 70 miles an hour down the back straightaway here. Next time around, they should be well into the 190 miles an hour. Well, just about 190 as we saw on that first one. I guess it really depends on how aggressive these guys want to be as they get back started on this race here this evening from Daytona. We are just about, we're going to be taking the green flag almost at the halfway mark of this one already here this evening. So time is starting to run out for some of these guys. We definitely have seen the passing takes quite a while to get done here. You see a lot of guys that making the moves on the outside and immediately going to the bottom trying to protect their position here. Seems like if you could get somebody to be a great pusher in behind you, that it really plays dividends here for you on that low side. Let's get back here, get ready to get this thing re-kicked off. The green flag is in the flagman's hand here. They approach the Geico restart zone and they are back off from Daytona. They are going to be completing lap 29, heading to lap 30 as we'll go back and crank it up. Speed's definitely increasing in these cars. You see the 22 has jumped to the high side behind Tim Shiflett in the 44. Also has his teammate of Randy Showers up behind him there on the outside. The pushing is definitely getting more aggressive. These guys know they need to get themselves in a position to defend for the end of this race. I think at this point, if you're in the back of the pack, you definitely need to start to make your way towards the front, as we're seeing just how difficult it is to pass. Get yourself at least around that top 5 to make a move to the front for the end of this thing. Definitely by the end of stage 2 here at lap 45, you're definitely going to want to move towards the front. You're definitely going to see the action on the racetrack picking up. While we were on the crank it up camera, we did see Justin Lee Pearson a little further back in the pack. He is now sitting on pit road. Not sure if he has something mechanical going on. Maybe with his rig. We see a big cheer for Kyle. I believe that's going to be for Kyle Cameron. We check in with him. He is P15 right now. Looks like he's just biding his time. He doesn't think it's go time just yet on that machine. Tim Shiflett and Daniel McCurdy continue to battle for the lead here. Dave Scott trying to get some air to the nose of that machine, going back and giving a good push to the 97 machine, still up 10 spots from his starting spot. So he started just outside the top 10 here this evening. A great shot of these guys coming through the tri-oval here from Daytona. And about 37 laps. We will see it coming for the win unless we have some green-white checkers action here at the end, which I'm thinking these guys have been patient with each other all evening so far. I don't know how much patience they will continue to show as the laps click down here. We are 12 laps away from the stage. Let's take a look at some of the pit lengths. I don't think we've gone a full fuel run just yet. Looks like 18 laps might be about as far as you're going to get, or as much as they have gone so far. It seems to be fairly accurate, maybe with a 40% fuel load, maybe a couple more laps that these guys are going to be actually able to turn on the racetrack here and get a fuel strategy run in here. Something tells me, though, coming to the end of this thing, it's going to come down to how much fuel do you have on board for green, white checkers, and what pit strategy you used. Maybe with 10 or 15 laps to go to put yourself in a good spot there. Maybe stay out if you do get some cautions, if you're able to avoid the wrecks, and maybe pick up some track position that way. Let's go ahead and take a look at a couple onboard shots here from Cody Harris in the 3 machine. He's looking to try to make it 3 wide there. In the middle, he thinks better of it under Cully here. Jeremy Jeffries as well, still just biding his time in his Monster Energy SMT Racing Inc. car. Todd Mays, you see the good old rocky top on that machine here. Get a look inside Todd Mays' truck here. Awesome shots. Get a look to see how smooth the hands are being inside the truck of the 54 machine here. Pretty smooth, not much hand movement. Todd is one of the better drivers here on super speedway races. It'll be interesting to see who our half milers are and who our road course guys are as this season moves on. We'll go back here a little further, check in with Dave Stinson. He's also on the bottom of the racetrack, and you see in front of him Ricky Miles. He's got the CSR broadcast logo on that truck. Much appreciated, Ricky, for putting that thing on there for us this evening. All right, checking the comment sections over here. Oh, we got a big checkup. We got a wreck here. Big wreck. We got a huge crash here. A lot of guys involved. We set it. Oh, it's got to slide back up in front of the field. Grab a couple guys. Hang on to that. The 69 is in the wall. Derek Jacobs looks like he's in another one. Daniel McCurdy. So this looks like this is going to start right at the very beginning of the field. Yellow flag is back out there. You see some heavy damage on the front end of the 33 machine. Let's go back here and see if we can get this queued up and figure out what happened from the front. We're going to have to move a little further up in the field here. Let's go in with the, oh, you already see them down on the apron. This could be just a product of bad push. Oh, does the 22 get the 44 a little out of shape? Gets over on the right side a little bit. Could be a side draft going wrong. They're going to make a little contact. The 22's come down the track, going to get the front end of the 75, and that's just going to turn the 88 back up in front of the entire field here. Get a look from above. You see some guys trying to check up, trying to avoid. We got the on view of Todd Mays. He saw it coming early. Gets down there to the bottom of the track. 33, and this is just how fast it happens at Daytona here. Just leads to a blocked track. A couple of guys taking some good shots there. The 33, the 54 gets it checked up and misses that one. We'll see if we can get another on board with a couple of these guys. Try to get a look at what happened. You see it here. We'll just go on board with the 88 machine, just how fast it snaps around. And next thing you know, you just see a whole field of trucks coming at you. Not too bad of a shot for him. Might be able to, oh, late shot there from Derek Jacobs, not being able to get that thing checked up. We'll see if we could get a couple other shots from some guys here, maybe a little further back, seeing how this all played out. These guys try to get checked up. You see the scattering. The 55 is hard on the brakes there. He's trying to judge where to go. The 7's going to think that he's going to slide down, and then, boop, nope, through the smoke, just runs into him. Let's see if we can get a look back on board here with the 55 machine of Kyle Cameron here. Let's get a look to see what he sees out this truck. Just see smoke. We said it earlier, it's hard to tell. Gets it checked up, turns under the crash. Now he's got to watch everyone coming back up the racetrack. See some more calamity. He's just staying on the brakes, just wants to make it through the crash. So nice job, Kyle, getting all checked up for that one. That is going to hand the lead off to Dave Scott in the 75 machine there, as they look like they might make their way onto pit road. Maybe some fake outs, a late turn in there by the 75 to 21. The 88 are going to stay out. So they decide they're going to stay on the racetrack here. A lot of guys making their way down pit road. So it looks like about 6, well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 guys are going to stay out. 7 guys are going to stay out. No, excuse me. Yes. Justin Lee Pearson is a lap down. He's going to try to get his laps back. So a lot of guys on pit road. You see it here. A lot of guys trying to get some repairs done. The 3 is out already. To see the 33, he's used a fast repair. You saw the whole front end come back on that one, the 22 machine. So these drivers definitely getting more aggressive there. Maybe just a bad bump draft gone wrong. Maybe an aggressive side draft led to the movement the 22 wasn't quite ready for. Either way, a pretty wild wreck here from Daytona. That is going to hand the lead over to the 21 of Randy Showers. Lights still on the pace car here. Let's just go ahead and take another look. This is what these guys are all fighting for this evening. A shot at getting into Gatorade Victory Lane at Daytona here this evening and putting themselves in a playoff spot nice and early in this season here as they go down the back straightaway. Well, the SMT drivers have decided that a poll will be casted to remove stage caution due to having to throw it again one lap later. These guys are truly competitors. Awesome to see people working together, but also competing as hard as they can. Caution will remain for lap 45 in this race, so you still will see the lap 45 stage break, but maybe, as the league moves forward, they might just award the guy that crosses the line coming to the virtual stage, if you will. No caution will come out. I believe was it the Xfinity Series, or was it in the Cup Series maybe a decade or so ago? The guy leading the race at the halfway point got some kind of initiative. Don't know if it was muddy. Don't know if it was an extra point or something like that. I know in one of the series that was a thing not too long ago. Maybe that's in the same vein for stages. They might take the same idea there. Well, now the 21 is going to be up there by himself. I'm not seeing very many team trucks up here with guys going to work with each other. So I think it's friends on the racetrack that you have maybe made from other series, officials, the S&M series. Who's going to go with you? The guys that you trust and work with you here, the 21. Getting ready to go. The pace lights are back off on the truck here. Let's see if we can get an on board here with the 21. See if he's already back in fuel saving mode on the racetrack. Let's find that camera. Yeah, you see the RPM dropped out. No engine sound. Right there, he's got it back off the clutch. Right back on it. So he's already conserving fuel. He must have a mark on the race that he thinks he needs to get to get himself at least maybe one more stop, maybe two stops in this thing to get himself to the end. So these guys already were just past halfway. We saw it a little bit earlier, but these guys already going back into fuel conservation mode. You see it likewise here on the 88 machine. Todd Mays onboard shot here. A little bit of right rear damage on that 88 machine there. You see it there on the tail light, just a little bit caved in. That shouldn't be a problem for him out there on the racetrack. So these guys rolling into turns 3 and 4 behind the virtual pace car here. Randy Showers, Grant Wesley, Alex LeBeau, Todd Mays, Kyle Cameron, and Jeremy Jeffries going to be your top 6 here. Jeffries rounding out the top 5. Dave Scott went from the lead back to P7, so interesting to see how he makes his way forward. Once again, the biggest mover on the racetrack, well, is actually going to be Dave Stinson right now, and Ricky Miles up 12 and 10 spots respectfully for each of them. As the pace car gets ready to pull off the racetrack, we are getting ready to go back green. You see the flagman, he's already anticipating getting this thing re-fired up. As they are in the Geico restart zone. The hammer is down on the 21 machine. A little bit of wheel spin there maybe for him. Gets that thing going. Maybe caught the 24 sleeping there. The 24 is going to fall a little bit on the way back. Maybe it was a planned move there. I don't think so. I don't know if the 88 and the 24 are teammates, but he's going to slide up in third. Now he's going to stay on the outside. Jeremy Jeffries, I know we had somebody pulling for him earlier. And now he's making his move to the outside of the racetrack here on the 21 and 88. He's got all the momentum. 21's going to try to slide up, but he's getting a huge push from Cody Harris. Put the one car of Jeremy Jeffries at the point at lap 40 here from Daytona as they head off into turns 3 and 4. We'll see. Now the 3 is going to make an aggressive turn down the racetrack. He wants to lead a lap around this thing. He's getting a push now from the 21 to 24 up behind Jeremy Jeffries. Coming to the trial this time around, who's going to get this lap led? It looks like right now it is going to be the 3 of Cody Harris that'll take that lap. The aggressiveness definitely starting to ramp up. You saw the big move by the 3 getting to the bottom of the racetrack there. And now they head into turns 1 and 2. The 24 on the inside, on the outside pushing the 1. The 21 pushing the 3 car on the inside. Starting to see some more cars going to the top of the racetrack. These guys are trying to get themselves in a better position. You are only about 29 laps from the end of this thing, so you're definitely going to see these guys try to get themselves in a better spot. Towards the end of this thing, you see Kyle Cameron. You saw him check up and miss that wreck earlier. Mr. Jepson, yeah, just a little bit. I was hoping you got here a little earlier. We're going to try to get you up here in the booth with me. Maybe we'll get you up in there for the S&M race later on this evening, depending on what time that gets started. We are already 9:36. We only have 20-something laps to go, so I have a feeling that lobby might get kicked off here pretty soon. Get the practice started there. You see the 3 continuing to lead us around the racetrack. We'll get a look back here at the 22. He's been up front all race long, but right now he's mired deep into traffic. He is riding around in about the 12th position. 33 of Josh Cully, likewise leading a good portion of this race. Here it looks like he's got a teammate in the 88 not too far behind him. Oh, excuse me, that is the 40 in the 88 that appear to have similar painted race trucks. See, you're still catching your broadcaster off guard here. Jeremy Jeffries is now going to try to make a challenge on the outside once again for the lead as they come through the tri-oval there. We got a wreck here a little further back. Looks like Kyle Cameron's going to go around. A couple other guys going around here. Let's see if we can get it backed up here. Justin Lee Pearson looks like he's going to get checked up for another one here. Ricky Miles sliding through the infield. Dave Scott was in it. Looks like Matt Brown also got checked up. Maybe a little rear end damage from the checkup there. Trying to figure out who else. Justin Lee Pearson. Derek Jacobs appears to get through it. I did see the 55 of Kyle Cameron up in the wall at one point here. The yellow flag is out. We'll have to check on the damage on that machine. Let's see if we can get a better camera angle of that truck. And see, we didn't see, yeah, he's got some rear end damage. So let's see if we can go back here. It's only going to tell me Ricky Miles has crashed, so partner with us. We might have to do some rewinding and figure out what happened here in this wreck here this evening. It looks like the 55 on the outside. Oh, the 5 is going to be really loose. Don't know if he ran into the back of the 88 there and just he got down the apron and just, woo, trying to hang on to that thing. Kyle Cameron going to take a pretty good hit there. 75 going to run into the back of him. Likewise, the 0 machine looks like he might just get that thing checked up in time to stay off of the 75 of Dave Scott. That's one hell of a move there on that car. We have to figure out who that is because we don't have a 0 scored on the racetrack. So we're definitely going to have to figure out which car that is hiding in. Oh, a big shot back up there into the 33 for the 5 machine. So definitely a fast repair going to need to be used by quite a few of these guys. We saw the 33 already use one. So if he has to use another, that is not going to help their cause very much. I definitely want to go in here and take a look at the 0 car here. Let's give a pause here. Let's see if we can figure out who is in the 0 this evening. Let's see. We'll go through the field here. Dave Stinson. It could be Dave Stinson. It is Dave. Let's see if we can get a shot at this one here. Let's just let it play full speed, shall we? Little contact there, but keeping it, for the most part, shouldn't be too bad on the front of that machine. Maybe a little right front contact. Might be able to just let that ride. Go down and do some manual repairs. Have some guys, some of the guys we saw that did not pit earlier, looks like they are in their window to maybe try to make it to the end of this thing. You see the showers on there, so the 23 will continue to lead. Some more guys coming down pit road repairing their damage. Dave Stinson there, yes, that he is being scored the 3, but he is in the 0 this evening, painted truck. So we might have to talk to Mr. CEO to try to get that all sorted out so we don't have to guess up here. But if that's the worst thing that happens to us up here in the broadcast booth tonight, I think we're doing just fine. Cody Harris continuing to lead this thing. I'd be curious to see who is going to have the most laps led. It's got to be between the 22 and the 33, I feel like, at this point in the race. The 88 was up there for a handful of laps. Don't know if he led more than the 22 or the 33. 22 was up front for quite a bit of this thing. I know the 33 likewise, so it'll be interesting to see how many laps led those guys have so far in the race. We don't have that information on board in our app with us. Maybe that's something I'll look into to try to start looking and to see if we can get some of that live data up here with us this evening. Well, the lights are still on the pace car. Let's just roll around Daytona here. Get a look at some of these paint schemes here while they're under yellow. while the guys have the repairs done, and give the broadcaster a little bit of a break. We'll grab a drink here and we'll take a look at some of these awesome painted race trucks. Well, let's interrupt that because now we have some guys topping off late here. Maybe they're looking at their fuel gauge and saying that they needed one more lap to make it to the end of this thing, because now you see a lot of the lead cars pulling off. Oh, the 88's going to go around off the nose of Todd Hayes there. That is going to drop him further in the box. Oh, going to get a little damage there in the left rear, spinning that thing around. The 69 of John Miles is coming out of the pits. So a lot of the lead cars, Alex LeBeau's going to win the race off pit road. Some more contact and aggressiveness definitely going up. A little bit of patience maybe being patience might be running out here for some of these drivers. Let's go back here, and now after all that, the 34 machine of Tommy Rogers is going to lead us around here. The 40 of Gavin Schillings. Derek Jacobs is going to be right here. We saw him get caught up in some stuff earlier. Now he has made his way back up there. Brandon Showers, Eric in the 99, and Dave Stinson, one of the guys we just said, great job avoiding the wreck. He is going to be in P6. Randy Showers is going to come back out now in 7th. Tim Shiflett, Dave Scott, and Ricky Miles. We saw him get a little out of shape there, going to round out the top 10. Got to keep that D&D S&M graphics car clean here by the end of this thing. Try to get yourself a good point stay by the end of this. Well, Tommy Rogers is out front. The lights are off in the pace car as they roll through turns 3 and 4. We'll have to go and check on some of more of these paint jobs a little later on in the race here. Once again, appreciate everyone tuning in here tonight on Twitch. Awesome to see the amount of people that are actually watching this live. It's pretty awesome that this thing continues to grow, whether we are on YouTube, whether we are on Twitch, always getting a great turnout here to watch these races. Well, the pace car getting ready to pull off the racetrack here. Once again, we are getting ready to go green flag. They will fire these cars up. We'll watch the speeds go. We'll listen to some of these cars as they are back green here with 24 laps to go from Daytona. Oh, we had a disastrous start there. The 69 looks like he got caught up in something a little further back there. Looks like maybe somebody did not go. We did see some parts flying off of some of these cars. Looks like John Miles may have gotten anything. We're not getting a crash notification, so we're going to have to old school and just rewind it. Yeah, some heavy damage to the front of that 69 machine. I wonder if somebody was trying to just get a lap back here, or maybe we were just anticipating the start. Some guys going the 55. Oh, this 5 car. Maybe a wrong gear for Ricky Miles there. We'll have to get a look on board with Ricky and see what happened here. Again, we don't get a crash notification, so we're going to have to old school and just rewind it. Let's see if we can go on board with Ricky here. Maybe we just had a wrong gear. Maybe it slid out of gear, wrong shift. Let's take a listen on with the 5 truck. Sounded like maybe still in fuel conservation mode, still might have been. Yeah, you hear it there. Having a hard time getting that thing in gear. I think he has an H pattern shifter. Sometimes those things, if you don't get the rev match just right, things like that happen. Unfortunate for the guys behind him that ran into the back of the 5 machine, but super speedway racing, that is going to happen when guys are ready to anticipate the start. Sometimes it just doesn't get right back in the right gear here. So out front now, it looks like when the yellow flag was thrown, the 40 got the jump on the restart. Got to put Tommy Rogers back to the outside. Tommy Rogers, a big mover in this race so far. Oh, he's got a ton of damage to the rear of that thing. Also must have gotten popped on that restart there as they get ready to catch back up to the pace car. Kyle Cameron looked like he made his way back down pit road there, maybe trying to get some of that damage fixed on that machine. But Tommy Rogers up 17 spots, Derek Jacobs up 11, Eric in the 99 also up 11 spots. Dave Stinson is up 14 spots. Derek Jacobs going to make his way on to pit road here. So all that track position he just gained, he's going to go back to the back of the pack again here. So the 15 and the 34, respectively, 17 spots for the 34, 15 spots for the 0 truck, even though it's scoring as the 3. There, up the biggest movers of the race, Alex LeBeau on pit road, Derek Jacobs, Todd Mays, Cody Harris, Josh Cully, Justin Lee Pearson. My pick for tonight is still rolling around out there. He is just being quiet right now, and that is right now when you're having some of the chaos starting to pick up. That's what you want to be. You want to not be involved. You want to hang out. He's got his iRacers Lounge. He is one of the guys we are going to do a broadcast for. Their Bud Light, well, I should say the Bud Clash, I believe is what they're calling it. You know, corporate, copyright infringement and all that good stuff. You can't call it, exactly the same thing. You would get in trouble. I played like 30 seconds of Sweet Home Alabama last evening and got the old slap on the hand by Twitch here saying that's a copyrighted song, even though I was paying for it on a different streaming service. Not surface. Still got the old slap of the wrist there. So iRacers Lounge. He's got a podcast. If we could get the link set up to that, we will also put that in our Twitch here so you guys can go find all of these great things. Highline Racing Network of Tommy Rogers. Hilarious AI-generated news broadcast of this series, the S&M series, some of the drivers, some of the beef that happens on the racetrack. Check them out on YouTube. The link is in the Twitch right now. Some hilarious videos there. Thank you, Jepson, for the follow. Much appreciated for that there this evening while we have the chance, actually. And thank you, Jepson, for doing that. Anybody who's watching, and if you are not following us right now, if you could do me the solid to subscribe or like, comment, or share. It is free for everyone here, unless you decide to donate. There is a donate button that'll go back to these guys, putting money forward towards prize pools, trophies, all kinds of good stuff for these guys on the racetrack. Pretty awesome. Let's get, the lights are now off on the pace car. Let's just get one quick peek here again at the schedule for this racing league. If you want to come out and be a part of it, follow the links on the Twitch here. They still have room for a couple more drivers. If you want to squeeze in here, you'll still have a good shot at the playoffs. You see a ton of races on the schedule between the trucks, the Xfinity, the Gen 6, and the Next Gen, all coming up for this series here this evening. Yes, we do intentionally sometimes set up the delay out there, James, just in case we may say something or we get a little audio that isn't supposed to come across the broadcast channel. We delayed a little bit. Actually, I see you up here in the broadcast booth right now, James. You got a copy, buddy?
Yeah, I just turned my mic on. I found you all tonight.
Yeah, we're all hiding. We're all hiding here. The S&M race should be going up here fairly shortly. I got to get in contacts with Mr. Trevor Haley. Looks like we're going to go back to Chicagoland this evening. A lot of guys having a lot of fun on that racetrack the other night. Yeah, there's going to be a small delay for you this evening because you're not in the race, so you're not going to get all the action quite live. But I know you've been watching. Do you have a driver picked out that you think is going to get it done here this evening from Daytona?
I can't give you a straight answer because I just got on about 10 minutes ago because I found you. I was looking for S&M's broadcasting, but because I know we're doing a team run tonight, so you surprised me.
Yeah, we're over here with the SMT Iracing Inc. series here from Daytona. They're actually getting ready to go green flag again. A lot of guys single file on this one. Not the usual start for them, but they are green. Maybe some guys just opting to say, I'm going to hang out in the back here until about 10 laps to go. I don't want to get tore up yet again. We're back green. Gavin Schillings continues to lead. Brandon Showers has made his way back to P2. We'll see how aggressive he is trying to get the lead back from Gavin. He's been up front for a majority of this one. 20 laps to go here. As there you go, you see a big move out of the 22, going to bring the 21 with his teammate with him. We're going to try to get some information on the S&M Racing Series here. Looks like they are going to try to get that thing fired up here. That looks like practice is going to get started up here this evening. as Brandon Showers continues to lead with Randy Showers from Daytona here. Let's get you a better camera angle as these trucks rolling around. We'll see if the aggressiveness picks up for these guys here this evening, as we'll go back to the crank it up camera here. We'll try to get one more time, maybe not some chaos this time when we go to the crank it up camera. James, the intensity is starting to pick up. You see the outside lane getting some momentum there. You see the two Red Bull cars out front. The second lane, Justin Lee Pearson is now starting to be more aggressive, making his way back up towards the front. The 34 got out of shape. Got to get Dave Scott. Got to get a bunch of these guys here back into pack here. Some more guys. Jeffrey's getting turned. Looks like Matthew Brown might get through it. Kyle Cameron's going to get through it. My pick for the evening is back in it of Justin Lee Pearson. Tommy Rogers also getting tore up. He's already in his box. You see the right front definitely tore up on that thing. Quite a few guys involved in this. Derek Jacobs looked like not too much damage. Maybe just went for a spin and that thing. Let's see if we could get it queued up here and see what happened on the racetrack here this evening.
That's right. I hate to say this, throw a broadcaster under the booth, but at the end of every race, when broadcaster starts talking about it, lining up and getting ready to go, as Larry Mack would say, you're gonna cause a caution. So I'm just gonna say that one's on you, Craig.
I'll take the blame for that one. Looks like we go back here. I wonder if we had a black screen or a wheel disconnect there for the 34. He just hooks a hard right up the track there, the 34 of Tommy Rogers. Let's see if we can back this up and get on board with him. That thing really just shot up the hill. Here, let's rewind it a little bit so I can get my cameras all queued up here. It looks like he's doing just fine going around. Let's get in on board with him. Going around here, and it just, his rear end just steps out on Tommy. Doesn't really
that looks like he got loose.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy. I wonder if the tire wear, if the track temp is a little hotter out there. Man, that thing just really stepped out on Tommy here. Let's see if we get a better camera angle of it here. Not sure. Don't think he gets a push from the 99. Yeah, that thing just gets arrow loose up off the corner. You see him out of the throttle there. The exhaust.
There it is.
Yeah, the exhaust, and he's just going to go up there and pop to 75. The 75 probably has no idea that shot's coming. That's going to stack these guys up. Ricky Miles in it. John Miles John might get through this thing unscathed. Some guys going down the grass. You see Todd Mays down there kicking that thing sideways. Looks like he has got his actual F-150 out there in the grass with tires and sliding, and you see the grass kicking up off the 5 machine there as he goes right through the Daytona logo. We'll have to get an interview there with Tommy, figure out if that thing just pops arrow loose on him. And I mean, that's what it looked like happened. That was wild there. The 22 now coming off pit road. They already completed their pit stop. Sorry we missed that, but there was a lot of action to unfold back there on the racetrack.
And if everybody watched, Daytona is a self-cleaning track. If you noticed, everybody went right down into the grass after the wreck.
Yep, they're all going to bounce off on the outside wall and just come firing right back across the track. We saw a little earlier with a couple guys. They went up there, hit the outside wall. Some guys shot to the inside and thought they had it cleared, and then all of a sudden, right back down the racetrack for some of those cars, James.
It was a mess, but we're coming back. Everybody's getting ready to start lining up again. and the intensity is only going to get higher.
Oh, absolutely. I think we should only have about 15 laps to go. We saw some guys stretching fuel to 18 laps earlier. You just saw the leaders coming down pit road. So they might be already be set up for at least one green-white checker out here this evening. Man, riding around under caution also going to save a little bit of fuel for these guys. But with it being a 2.5-mile super speedway, you're only saving maybe a couple tenths of fuel each caution lap. So unless you start really stacking these cautions up, if you're only good for one right now, unless you get 2 or 3 cautions, that might stretch you to 2. If you have a third, though, you might be sitting in a bad spot. We'll have to see how it all plays out. The lights are back off on the pace car. You see these trucks going back down the front straightaway, kicking back off some of that dirt and grass. Brandon Shower's going to opt for the outside here. Do you think the 21 might be a buddy and just let him slide right back to the bottom there so they can get right back nose to tail on this one?
Yeah, I would say that could be a good possibility there. Teammates working with teammates on these final laps. It's just going to make the intensity even more.
Absolutely there. The 24s hung around for most of this one. You saw Todd Mays slinging dirt through the infield there. He got through it. A couple of these guys definitely have to be on their last fast repairs. I will go back here. I'll check my standings. I don't know if anybody is out of this thing just yet. Cody Harris is still going around. He is 21st right now. So out of 21 cars, it looks like all of them are still on the racetrack this evening. So some guys might be on their final fast repair. Any more chaos, that might be the end of the race for them. That is not how they're going to want to start their season, but when you're super speedway racing, James, you know that's just a product of it. I don't care if you have 40 professionals out here, if you have pro-rated drivers, or you have a bunch of rookie rated drivers out here. Super speedway racing just leads to chaos, James.
That's right. You know, real estate is key, and nobody's willing to give up a spot, and they're looking to steal that extra inch from someone else.
Absolutely, that is why. Oh, and now you see the 22 going back to the bottom of the racetrack. Maybe race control saying, "Nuh-uh, you don't get your lane choice just yet in this series. Follow what iRacing is telling you to do and get back to the bottom." So now, how are they going to sort it out? Does the 22 try to go early? Does he try to? Maybe the 21 lays back, lets him up. Only his time is going to tell. They're going back into the Geico restart zone. The pace car is off, and we are back green here. We're going to have 14 laps to go from Daytona. There you go. Saw the 22 try to get a big jump, get up, pull the 21. The 21, an aggressive move down to the bottom of the racetrack. It'll leave the 33 all by himself. He's going to tuck back down. And now the Showers 1, 2 here coming to the final laps, James. We've seen that song and dance before, haven't we?
Oh, we have. Even the brothers, they don't give an inch to each other when it comes to the end of a race. So it's going to be hot and heavy out here.
You see the 33 already making a move back to the outside. He's got some help in behind him. Looks like that is going to be Todd Mays. Is that Todd? No, that is going to be Gavin Schilling and Josh Coley back on the outside there. It seems like if you're going to make the pass, James, it's going to come from the high side, but it looks like the inside lane is definitely the stronger lane here, so I wouldn't be surprised if Mr. Gavin says, "Thank you for the push. I'm going right to the bottom as soon as I can clear the inside lane." Definitely seeing some more aggressive pushing as these guys roll through 1 and 2. We are down to 13 laps to go. I have a feeling we haven't seen our last caution yet. These guys have been pretty tame. They're still 2x2. I would imagine here, I'd be willing to guarantee you about 3 more laps, you are going to see 3 wide action. These guys are going to start running out of patience. They know the laps are going to click off. They are going to try to make their way to the front, whatever it takes here. A shot from the blimp. You see the 22 continuing to lead, the 40 and the 33 trying to get that outside lane moving. Justin Lee Pearson looks like he was trying to show these guys, like, hey, let's go up to the 3rd lane. Let's try to do something. That we're not going to win from 12th, 14th position. We got to go here. When you're back there and you already know how hard it is to pass already.
Here we go. The outside's coming out. If you look and you notice that outside line's forming up a little bit better. They're not giving up an inch. That bottom line, even with the teammates there, they're not moving forward. They're not moving backwards. If you notice this front line, we got 3 tied bumper to bumper now. 4, it's 2 to 4. Up, they're spacing it out. It's going to be. Now, if the front 2 on the high side want to do anything, Yeah, coming down might slow that bottom line down and slow the brothers.
Absolutely. Well, at the showers. Oh, we got some action here further in the back. We see the 9 car sliding to the inside wall there. Daniel McCurdy also looks like he may have taken a shot to the inside wall there. He's already had some issues here this evening. The yellow flag is back out. Matt Brown is again, around again this evening. Let's see if we could catch where these guys maybe have slid off. Dave Scott looks like he may have went down pit lane to avoid this thing. Let's see if we can get, well, it's not telling us they crashed, even though we know that's a lie, James. We see it there. They did. Let's back it up here just a little bit. Could this be a product of, yes, Matt Brown says, my time is running out. I need to get up there. He saw a hole. He went for it. And there's just not quite enough room. He's going to end up hooking the 75. The 75 is not going to be very happy with that move. Then the 9's going to slide down here and catch, well, actually the 75, while he's saving that thing, is going to come back down and tag the 9. They know that inside wall's coming quick. They're going to try to turn away from it and not hit that thing. Oh, man, the 88's going to take a huge shot there to the inside wall. It looks like Matt Brown is going to skate across the grass. He's actually going to get away with no damage, just a big slide for him. The 97 in the painted 88 machine, definitely that thing is tore up on that truck, James. So we've seen the 88 involved in a couple things already this evening, so that could spell the end of the race for him. We're going to have to check in with that driver. He's on pit road for quite a while right now, so something tells me he is taking required repairs. And no, nope, still some heavy left front damage on that thing, so definitely out of fast repairs. Probably just trying to stay on the lead lap at this point. Well, I'm sure you'll see the 88 machine back down pit road here. Actually, out of all of that, not too bad, James.
No, and I'd say that's more determination as a racer, wanting to finish a race on a track. If he's out of fast repairs and he's out of everything else, he's just going to get back out on the track as being a good sport, good sportsmanship, and he's just going to keep running.
Absolutely, and with this being a points-paying race for these drivers, you never know if 15, 20 of these guys wad them up here, come to the start-finish line, you snag a couple of those spots, James. Now maybe instead of being 20-something in points, you're now 10th, 12th, depending on the size. If they get a wreck, keeping that car on the lead lap here, even if you're just riding around in the back, some of these guys wad them up in turns 1 and 2. You get a couple more cautions here. Those are points and positions on the racetrack for you.
Oh, exactly. You never give up. And if he's still on the lead lap, we still haven't seen the way they've been fighting these last few laps, and we're getting just shorter and shorter on laps. It's going to be a mess. And if he can stay clean and get through the next wreck or two, he might gain 10, 15 points. You never know. That's what super racetracks do to you.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it's a great call by him. I'm sure you'll see him if the lights are still out of the pace car. I'm sure we'll see the 97 scored 97 machine, the painted 88 machine coming back down pit road. Looks like Cody Harris is back on pit road. That might be the end of his race. He's been there quite a while. You see there is no right fender on that machine above the wheel there. That thing is tore up, so he's probably sitting there getting his required repairs finished up. Same thing for him. It depends. Can he stay on the lead lap by the time the field rolls back around? They are pretty close, so maybe he's maximizing. We'll keep an eye here on this car. Let's see if we can get the blimp camera. It's not going to show if the field goes by. Let's see if he's probably only got a couple more seconds to try to get this thing fired up and rolling before he goes a lap down. You hear him come by. There he goes. He's got it fired up. Let's take a look at where the leaders are. If he can beat the pace car off pit road, he will stay on the lead lap. Looks like he successfully does that. So same thing for the 3 there. Out of fast repairs, but if he can just hang on to the tail end of this draft, can he pick up some spots if there is some more crashes as they end this thing? The other big thing, James, we've seen these guys pushing hard, but they can't push for too terribly long. It looks like maybe about 60% of a lap, I would say, you could stay on the rear bumper. So that is going to be a big part of it. You saw the outside lane get an advantage. You saw the inside lane come rocketing back. I think it's really going to depend, especially if you're on the outside. Can you stay at least on the quarter panel of the leader on the inside while your lane's not pushing? Maybe let that car behind you cool down and then rocket by them and clear that inside lane. It's really going to be who can push and keep their temps cool here coming to the end of this thing, because we've already seen some big shoves from these guys. I think, if I'm under this caution, I'm not following the car in front of me right now if I'm the 21. I'm riding below that yellow, trying to get as much clean air into the front of that thing as I can to make sure that thing is as cool as possible so I can push as long as possible when they get this green flag back out.
Oh, I agree totally. And once we get back under green, the best place to be is coolest truck out there, and then get to the front so you don't have to worry about it. Let everybody else worry about blowing their engines tonight.
Absolutely. We saw it in the S&M series last night. Actually, the 9 was pushing the 12 coming to the finish, and right as they crossed the finish line, that thing blew up, so that was perfectly timed by him. We're getting ready to go back green here in the final bit of this race. The pace car is once again down off the racetrack here. They're in the Kaiko's restart zone. They're fired it back off the father-son combo of the Randy and Brandon Showers. Going to get back to the lead. It looks like the 33 may have not been ready for that start there, James, as they clear them easily going into turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, but don't put that top row out of shame yet. They're down there, but we know once you get a line formed up, there's no telling what can happen.
Absolutely. Right now there's only 2. Yeah, there's only 2 trucks up there. Maybe some guys just saying, I'm going to ride with the majority right now. You see a couple more cars. Tim Shiflett in the 44 machine is going to try to make his way up to the top side and maybe help that lane move forward. Todd Mays now going to pull out from 3rd and move his way up to the top lane. Todd Mays wants to get up here and lead some laps now. How aggressive do the Showers get with their blocking? Todd Mays is making up some substantial ground on the racetrack out there because the 40 car was in the air, so now he's cool. He can continue to push to 54, but now the 21's back to the rear bumper of the 22. We are on 7 laps to go, coming to 6 laps to go from Daytona as they roll out of turn 2. We'll see how aggressive do these guys get. You already see a couple cars out of shape going down the back straightaway. They hang on to it. Man, this is getting good, James.
Yeah, it is. And you see that top line foreman. Those brothers are starting to sweat it out, and I give it to him, that top two.
So you're saying the winner's going to come off the high side there. I'm going to be, well, you know what? If you're going to go high, I got to go low on this one. I think the Showers are going to be able to defend well enough down there. I think the outside lane's going to get aggressive. They know that's the lane that's going to that needs to make the pass. The inside's got to defend. I think you might see some over-aggressiveness out of the high line, and it's going to help the low line prevail. That's just going to be my prediction if you're taking the high side.
Well, I'm just saying the high side's going to stay up there, maybe a half a car length ahead or down. But once you come around turn 4 in that white flag lap, you're going to see 4, 5, 6 wide, I bet, if we're running like this.
Absolutely. It looks like right now the 22 is able to defend without much of a push from the 21. You see him up the racetrack there trying to give some air to the nose of the 21 so he can get back to him. I think if that inside lane can continue to defend and not let the outside lane get ahead of them without pushing, that might be the move there. See some more guys moving around in the back of this thing. Let's take a look a little further back. Tommy Rogers continuing to make his way up. He has now cracked the top 10. Justin Lee Pearson trying to make his way back up. We see our boy Ricky Miles just in there. The 24 is going to go 3 wide down the back straightaway. They're beating, they're banging. There goes the 99, and 99 is going to go around. That's going to lead to a big melee there. Some cars. Ricky Miles, a big shot. This 69 of who is in the 69 again? That is going to be John Miles, also taking some damage in that one. Dave Scott looks like he may have gotten through that one unscathed. 5 laps to go. Some of these guys definitely getting aggressive. You saw the 24 showing his nose getting there. The 33 getting caught up in another one. Out of some of these shots we've seen from these guys, oh, Justin Lee Pearson, oh man, that thing is tore up. You see all kinds of grass flying out from that machine here. Out of some of the shots these guys taken, they haven't looked too tore up there. James, I'm really surprised. Usually in the Gen 6 cars, I mean, you got fenders hanging off, wheels flying off that thing. I mean, it's some pure chaos. But let's go back here. Let's see if we can get a look back here. This looks like the yellow flag is already out. Oh, we had a wreck after the yellow. Matt Brown in the 44 going to get into it as well. on the racetrack here. After the yellow flag came out, they're not going to be very happy about that. You hate tearing up race cars after the yellow comes out. Again, this app just absolutely loves catching things in the middle of the action here. You see the 24, the 99 is actually going to crowd up on the 24 a little bit, but the 24 is going to change lanes just a bit. And like we said, oh, he's going to come up and tag the 33. These guys going up the racetrack, one coming down. You see the 34 trying to miss it. He's going to get the front bumper of the 55. The 33 is going to go over here on his side. 75 getting it checked up. Ricky Miles trying to check up, slams into the back of the 58. Then going to go back up the racetrack. Like we said earlier, it's a self-cleaning track, James.
Yeah, self-cleaning and all that. And from what we see in this accident, and then we seen the accident after the yellow flag, I got a feeling tempers have reached maximum boiling point, don't you?
Oh, I have to agree. I definitely think at the end of this thing, Todd Mays has gone to the lead. That is so he was scored the leader when they were going and the yellow flag came out. But yeah, definitely some guys going to be frustrated after this one. Just a product of this style of racing, man. You're door to door with guys for 70 laps. You know, it's going to happen on the racetrack. You're going to get those bumps, but we saw it. We said the intensity is going to pick up, the aggressiveness is going to pick up, and you saw it there out of the 24. He thought it was go time. He saw a hole and he went for it.
Now everybody watch. Now remember we had the Shower brothers on the low side. Now we got them both on the high side. They were lucky enough to be able to line up behind each other. So I think the top four, looks like we're going to go into a green-white checker 2-lap scenario. And everybody tighten those seatbelts because we're going to have a show.
Well, the other thing we got to consider in this one, James, it's been 13 laps for a lot of these leaders since they've rolled down pit road. You're going into green-white checkers, and so far, according to our little graphic here, 18 laps is as much as you're going to get out of a full tank. So riding around under caution while yellow flag laps don't count, James, is not going to help these guys. I know they're probably got the clutch or turning off the car, but if you get in the 3 green-white checker scenario, some of these guys might be in the danger zone on making it on fuel, James.
I know. I feel for them. I've been in that situation. We've had some guys in our groups that can save fuel, and you just wonder how they did it. So I'm not going to say they're going to run out of fuel, but I'm not saying they are either. Is that a safe bet to say?
I would say that's for sure. Well, we did see, we heard it there while we were on board with the 22 machine there. The clutch was pushed in on that truck. You see him right back down into it. He's riding around in 4th gear. He is doing everything he can to maximize his fuel. Let's go on board with Todd Mays. He is still on the throttle here, so maybe Todd has done some fuel saving riding around in the draft where he's not too terribly worried about it. Let's see, Randy Showers on board. He also was on the clutch pedal there trying to save as much fuel. Kyle Cameron. Kyle's riding around.
Greg. Fuel savings also are helpful. If you're running with teammates and you're behind, you can run a little bit less throttle and still be pushing because of the draft. So if they did it right, I say they got enough fuel.
Brandon's up there teasing you. They're not brothers. That's a father-son combination up there on the high side.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. My correction. Hey, I've heard your mistakes. I'll say mine.
Oh, absolutely.
My mistake
that's what we love about the chat, man. They just get to some of these drivers they're watching. They get to come right back in and give us the what's what there.
Hey, I'll just say that's a damn it Jepson moment on SMT.
There you go. Well, the lights are off on the pace car. We are in green-white checker territory. We are in overtime, James. We're coming to the end of this thing. Not many cars not on the racetrack. Ricky Miles is he's catching up. It doesn't look like his car is too tore up. Cody Harris still hanging in there, so we still have the full field on the racetrack right now, James. So no one got themselves. I know we got a couple guys got themselves into some fast repair problems, but no one out of this thing just yet. So still 21 guys with a shot to win the opening race of the SMT Racing Inc. Daytona quote-unquote 500, even though we're only doing 70 laps. Here we go. We are in overtime. Todd Mays is going to lead us into the Geico restart zone. We are green, white, checking the 22, leaning on the door. He's going to beat the 54 back to the stripe. Not sure what race control is going to think of that, if he has to give it up. Did the 54 maybe slip some tires? Only time will tell as this thing gets reviewed. You see the fire out of the exhaust. As these guys are getting up through the gears, Todd May's going to pull back ahead. The 21 all over the back of the 22, the 40 with a great push. Man, they are really getting a good run down the back straightaway on the guys on the outside. Some more 3 wide now. Now we have some guys in the back of the pack getting more aggressive. You see that 24 car splitting the difference yet again. Got to give a little bit of a door check to the 75. 75 was thinking about showing his displeasure in that move, but thinks better of it, doesn't want to get caught up. Now the 22 is going to edge out the 54 on the back because the 40 is not pushing. He might be warm. Does the 22, James, go to the bottom of the racetrack here? Yes, he does. A big move out of the 22. Going to slam the door shut. We are on the final lap from Daytona. 3 wide, there's a wreck. Oh man, we got a big one. This is gonna just basically hand it to the 22. A huge wreck in turns 1 and 2. Guys upside down, guys stuck on each other, but we'll go back and take a look at that. But Brandon Showers is out by himself. Jeffries makes it through. The 24, Alex LeBeau, is trying to hang on to it. And out of all that, Ricky Miles is going around on the high side. Not sure if he's tore up. Looks like he's going to make it through. Maybe a little bit of damage, but Brandon Showers coming through turns 3 and 4. No pressure out the back. We said the intensity was going to pick up. We saw it there. He's going to have a cakewalk to the win here, which is very unusual from Daytona, but it's going to be the 22 of Brandon Showers getting the SMT victory started. Brandon Showers is going to win from Daytona this evening.
What a finish.
We saw the huge move going back down to the bottom there. 22 gonna, oh my lord, somebody just pounded the inside wall coming to the finish. This thing, they're still wrecking. Everyone trying to get as many points as they can. You see the 55 of Kyle Cameron. He's doing his damnedest to get back to the start finish line. You see the wheels just about tore off of that thing. Grant Wesley likewise coming around the 99. Man, there's a lot of these guys tore up at the end of this one. Looks like the 22 is going to sit here and try to wait for all these guys to come across the line, and so he can go do his victory burnout on the start finish line here from Daytona. Well, what a crazy finish! What a huge mess there going into turns 3 and 4. Just basically took out the entire pack behind Brandon here. 24 coming to finish it up his race here. Does he come down? He's got to nose into the front of the 22 machine here. Give him a little tap, little congratulations there for winning that one. 22 going to roll down there. Well, Brandon Showers is going to grab the win tonight here from Daytona. You see the victory celebration. You know he's pumped. Going to try to lock himself into the playoffs already. What a great win for him to start off. We saw this driver out front most of the race. Definitely probably led the most laps in this one, James. Wild finish here this evening. He's got his burnout locked in there. You see him burning it down. Big celebration out of the driver of the 22 machine on the front straightaway. Well, that is the first race from Daytona. If there's going to be action like that for the rest of the season, you could see a very awesome championship battle at the end of this thing. 22 burning it down here from Daytona, James.
It's a great burnout. You know, let's get this league going, and maybe we can have more audiences than what NASCAR did with the television productions this year. At least here they can know where they can watch every race.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's free. You don't have to subscribe to 15 places and buy packages to get it done. But Brandon Showers, the winner tonight. Let's go ahead and throw up your final results from this evening. You see it there. He's doing his burnout, tearing it down. Brandon Showers, P1. Jeremy Jeffries comes home a solid P2 for the one car there. Alex LeBeau, third. Ricky Miles coming home, P4. Cody Harris, P5. Eric in the 99 is going to come home, P6. Daniel McCurdy, Matthew Brown, Tommy Rogers, Grant Wesley round out the top 10. James, why don't you give us the rest of the running order here?
We got Grant Wesley 10th, Kyle Cameron 11th, Derek Jacobs 12th, John Miles 13th, Dave Stinson 14th, Justin Lee Pearson 15th, Dave Scott 16th, Randy Showers. That's a hard 17 to swallow. Josh
Yes, it
Cully
is.
is 18th. That's what I've got on my screen. Here,
Todd
you take
Mays
it
is
from
going to
there.
come home 19th. Gavin Schilling and Tim Shiflett rounding out the 21 car field. Well, we saw some chaos there at the end of that one, but we should have our winner this evening in the broadcast booth, Mr. CEO. Why don't you slide him on up here? Brandon Showers got to get it done this evening. Well, I know you were probably driving out of the mirror for most of the back straightaway, and then getting into 3 and 4. It was probably just a ball of smoke, and then you saw nothing behind you.
Yeah, it was a pretty clear field. But I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty nervous when I seen Alex and whoever it was behind him. But if those two wouldn't have gotten tangled up, they would have caught me and definitely won. So
Well, we saw you keep the 22 machine out front all evening long. Um, what did it take to keep it there? It seemed like passing was at a premium this evening at Daytona. But either way, you got it done. What did it take to keep it up there? A lot of strategy between you and your dad out there trying to get it done. He unfortunately gets turned there going into 3 and 4 with all the chaos and the aggressiveness. But were you guys? It had to be a ton of chatter on the radio between you two to keep those cars up there the whole race.
oh yeah, it was just me and him, you know what I mean? It's just me and him on a team. Give me a sec. Gotta turn them down. Um but yeah, it was just me and him as a team, you know what I mean? So obviously we were chatting together the whole time. In the beginning of the race, I fell to the back. I told him to give me EOL because of damage. So I asked for EOL. Thankfully, made my way up through cautions, pit strategies. But just definitely big shout out to my dad for, you know what I mean, having us both up there the whole majority of the race. It's just unfortunate the way it ended, but happy to come away with the win.
Well, a little less stress for you for the rest of the season. Now that you get the win out of the way, big win at Daytona. Congratulations, Brandon.
I
Yeah,
appreciate it, Greg.
congratulations there. And you guys, I was impressed how you two worked as a team. I have one question though. At that last caution, you guys were starting on the low side. What'd you and you What'd you and your dad think when you were, if I got it right, because I was calling you brothers earlier, so I made a broadcaster's mistake. But what'd you two think when you started on that high side? Because I was kind of questioning. You guys were used to the low side. How'd you take
Um,
that high side? What'd you think of it?
Are you you're talking about the very last restart, correct?
Correct. The green white checker one,
Uh,
the one you won on. Yep.
So, in my opinion, Todd kind of slept on the green flag on the restart right there. We got all the way through the Geico and it turned green, and I swear I seen him just sitting there. Um, but me and him, we just connected the whole time, and I told him, if you just keep pushing me, I'll jump high, and we're guaranteed one or two. You know what I mean? Top five finish. So
Well, good job, good execution by you guys tonight. Congratulations on the win, Brandon.
Yeah. Congratulations again.
appreciate it, guys. Thank you for the broadcast, and thank
Absolutely.
you, Evan, for setting this race up.
Absolutely. Well, Jeremy Jeffries is going to come home P2 this evening. Mr. Evan, if you could slide our P2 finisher up this evening. Uh, a great finish for you, Jeremy. I don't even know where you were running as you went down the back straightaway, but uh, out of all the smoke, I see the Monster Energy car come through it all.
Oh yeah, no, I don't even know where I was running. I was stuck in the middle there somewhere, and then the seas parted, and I'm sitting there looking at like 3 trucks in front of me, and 2 of them can't get off of each other, so they wreck. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm running second. I'll take it.
Well,
And
a
what were you
great.
thinking when you realized in second place you had a big gap behind you and you just had to try catching that leader?
I was thinking I was in a good spot, but I was also thinking I wish one other car would have made it, so I had a chance at the win.
I
Yeah,
heard that.
not many guys got through that one. That was a massive wreck. Well, a little pressure off your back there to start the season off there with a good finish. Um, we're just going to try to go back and take a look at some of the finish here, try to figure out who made it through where, but a little less pressure off your back here with a P2 finish. It looks like you were the fourth car in last at the end of this pack here. And with all the crashing, it looks like you just turned down to the bottom of the racetrack here and just dodge it all. So, and then, yeah, like you said, Grant and the 24 rubbing fenders going through there. So, but congratulations on the P2 finish for you tonight, buddy. And I'm looking forward to watching you the rest of the season.
I appreciate it.
All right. And then our last driver this
My name
evening.
is Jeff.
Yes, he's got his thing all queued up there. The 24 of Alex LeBeau here. You saw the chaos start and you dove to the bottom of the racetrack, somehow made it underneath and still come home P3.
Yes, sir.
Well, I mean, did you even know how big that wreck was until you looked and it was just about you and two other guys by the end of it?
I had no clue how many people. I just saw people in the rearview mirror just start flying. I didn't think it was going to take out like 25 million people. And then I got stuck to that Grant, and I was trying to get off of him, and so I wanted to let him back on the track so we could try to run down showers, trying to get around and come in at the flag. But we just got connected. We just couldn't get disconnected to try and get in line and get back going, man.
Well, it was a hell of a save just to get the thing back on the racetrack, but a great P3 finish for you this evening. Congratulations on the third, buddy.
Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate that.
Well, that is your top three from this one here tonight. Let's get the final shot here and get Mr. CEO Evan Perry. Well, for the first one, it was fairly tame until they hit the back straightaway on the last lap there. What did you think at the finish of this one?
And the finish was absolutely wild. And you said it right. It was pretty tame for that whole race. They did a very, very good job the first half of this race and made some good calls between each other. But they're racing for points. They're going to race as hard as they can towards the end of this race. And they did that. I think everyone agrees, and we were kind of chatting it up earlier, that we're gonna make some decisions all together as a league to make this race a little bit smoother. This first one, we're gonna work the kinks out. We got 19 more to go before the playoffs, so we got quite a while to go. And I know we definitely have some calls that are a little iffy, but we're gonna clean this all up and work these kinks out and come back next week and have a blast together. And it was pretty fun to watch. I enjoyed it.
It
Well,
definitely
Evan,
was.
if this is any inkling of what you've got in store for us for the next 18 weeks, since this is week one, you put together a league that's going to bring a lot of excitement to this iRacing community. It's going to make great broadcasting, and I just wish you the best because it can only get better. Congratulations on your first race.
Thank you very much. It's actually, I got the chills right now. It finally happened, and I'm pretty excited. We got New Hampshire Motor Speedway, so we're going to go back to a shorter track next week. So that's going to be really interesting. I've been building that setup with a couple guys that have been building setups for me in the past, and we're really excited to get this one out there and see what kind of racing it creates.
Alrighty, well, thank you, Mr. CEO. We will check in with you. We have to rush over and get the S&M series started, so make sure everyone tunes in next Friday to catch the continuation of the SMT series. James and Evan, hopefully we will see you over there. We will be doing yet another broadcast for them. We got about, I think, maybe 5 or 6 minutes left, so we got to hurry up and jump into that one. But from everyone here at SMT Racing and CSR Broadcasting, thank you guys so much for coming out and watching this one. We have one more this evening coming up in just a few short minutes. Make sure you check it out when we go live again. James, thanks for jumping up in the booth. Hopefully we have you for the next one as well for the S&M series.
I'll be there for the S&M. I'm already logged in, so I'll have live views, just on your camera view. But hopefully I can get a little bit better. If I can get as good as you talking, I might be worth being a sidekick. Until then.
Alrighty, well, thank you guys for checking out the SMT Racing Series here on the CSR broadcast channel. Until a few minutes from now, we will see you soon.